What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Conversations with DC over on Historically Black Sense, the premier digital platform for all things HBCU and Divine Nine organization related. Today, man, I have a very, very special guest with me. Me and this guy, man, we had our first, I guess, virtual greeting last week. And it was a very, very interesting conversation, man. A real stand-up guy, but this guy is a interviewer, a correspondent, if you will, an author, a graduate of UT Arlington, which is University of Texas Arlington, for y'all who don't know, and a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. Mr. Ezel Moon, what's going on, brother?
What's going on, family? I appreciate you, DC, for having me come through. It's an absolute honor and privilege, man.
Man, look, I appreciate you for taking the time to come through, man. I know you got a busy schedule, man. I just said a whole lot. You got your black on today, so I already know you busy.
You know it, man. I'm here trying to put in that work, man, for real.
Nah, hey, I totally get it, man. I get it, and I respect the grind, man. So, like I said, I know you got a lot going on, so I am going to respect your time, but we're going to hop into it.
Yeah, for sure. Let's do it.
And when I just, I kind of introduced you, I left one thing off on purpose, which is a major thing. It's a major thing. Mm-hmm. Okay, let's hop into it. Okay. I want to get into Omega Psi Phi first.
Okay.
Did you choose Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, or did Omega Psi Phi choose you?
Man, you know what? It was somewhat of a mutual calling, right? When I first got onto the yard, I was, kicking it outside of Arlington Hall, which was like one of the first halls that I stayed at. And, I met my future mentor. His name's Timothy Paul Brown. He's an actor, man. This man was doing it all. He was good with everybody, like 4.0, Mr. UTA, 4.0 GPA, was good with the Greek life, everyone on campus in different spots. But then on top, he was also a minister. And then on top of that, he was a man of Omega Psi Phi, right? Mm-hmm. So, he would then introduce me to my DP, Tecumseh. And, from there, as I interacted with everybody on the yard, and I built a lot of amazing relationships with so many different people. So shout out to every last Divine Nine organization at UT Arlington. Much love to all of them. I realized that I had a greater deal of respect, empathy, and a matching of those, who I would eventually come to call my pro-fights within Omega Psi Phi. So, the Mu Beta chapter, founded May 4th, 1971. Rule. But yeah, you gotta throw that. You gotta throw that in.
You gotta throw it in there.
But yeah, man. So it was. I would say it was more so of a mutual calling, because I definitely love the service that they displayed, and also because that's literally been my thing. So I decided to bring my skills over to them. But the wildest part is, though, during my probate, if ever there's a video and anybody goes back to look at it, the people who were the most hyped for me to become a Q were the alphas at that time. Can't make that.
So I'm assuming you were friends with a lot of alphas,
I was friends with everybody, man. Literally everybody, and the most hyped people were the alphas, man. So yeah,
that's a very interesting fact. Now I know we briefly spoke on this when I was on your platform. Right. But were you introduced to Greek life at all as a kid growing up, or did you know anything about it? Because so many people, they go into it, they're like, yeah, I have a family member who may have been of another organization, or I may not know anything about Greek life at all. Were you introduced to it as a kid?
So funny enough, no, I was not really introduced to it as a kid. I remember seeing, different parts of Greek life, like wondering okay, what are those things, what are those symbols on, different people's chest, because, I grew up in Houston, Texas. And there's a definitely, heavy, Greek population there. But I did, oddly enough, before I became the Bruz, my cousin pledged at Baylor, and he became the Bruz at spring 10, literally the year. So I went, one winter came home, talked to him about it. And he was the one that gave me a lot more information in regards to the fraternity that I want to join. So it's kind of cool.
Dope, dope. All right, it's dope. So, University of Texas, Arlington.
Yeah.
How did that come about? How did you end up at that particular college, that particular university?
Man, look, in 2008, I was literally looking like, man, who's gonna give me the most money to go to school? So it was a toss up between UTSA and UTA, and so UT San Antonio. It was cool. Visit the campus. I enjoyed it. My sisters eventually went there, and both of them pledged Delta there. And then but I decided, so you know what? Let me try UT Arlington. And because, like I said, they were the ones that were offering the most funds. And then I found out I enjoyed it. I definitely enjoyed being there. My undergrad years, man, was spent literally building bridges that eventually that I would hope that my those that came behind me would cross over them and be able to build bridges themselves. So.
Okay, dope. So an author, a correspondent. Becoming an author. What was that process like? I mean, it's crazy because we watch movies all the time. Most people, we watch movies, we watch television. Riding in the car, we hear the radio, and there's so many different lanes that you can go in. And when you're listening to the radio, and you're hearing people tell their story through music, you're seeing people tell their story or someone or portray someone else's story through the screen on television. Now, writing a book, I feel like it's a very, very intimate way to get everything out that you need to get out. No matter what it may be, no matter what genre of books you're writing, it's a very intimate way because you can write as much as you want. There's no limit to pages. Unless I'm mistaken, I don't think there's a limit to any pages.
Nah,
so
I think
yeah. So how did you become an author? What was that process?
So for me, it's like kind of like how I started interviewing. Like it's something that's been on my mind for a little bit, and then eventually say, you know what, let me just jump out the plane and do it. So I started off by just having a rough draft of a book that I was working on called Purple Mike. And then I said, well, you know what, let's give it a thing. Purple Mike wants a bike, and then I modeled some of the themes after my son, as well as taking some things from the fact that I'm in the one of the greatest fraternity known to man. Will make stuff happen.
You're breaking up over there.
but then I wanted to make sure that every time my son or a child or even an adult, because I've actually had some adults reach out to me about the books that I write, that they're actually intrigued, inspired through from it, to whether it be to hey, know what to do whenever situations are tense and how to calm down, or how to deal with disappointment. So I have 2 books out now. Purple Mike Wants a Bike and Purple Mike Isn't Scared. And these, like I said, they're geared towards children, but you'd be surprised who identifies with Purple Mike. So I got into that, man.
That's a very interesting story. You lost me when it said purple, but we ain't gonna go there.
No way, I promise I'm gonna make. I got a blue character coming. I really do. I do. He's actually on the way. He's on.
And I was gonna ask you about that particular book because you do have it pinned on your social media page. Right. I did my research and strolled down and different things of that nature. Okay, so what's the most challenging part of being an author, if there's a challenging part? Because I feel like everything kind of has its challenges.
Man, absolutely. For me, the most challenging part would be picking which story, like which theme that I want to go with. Like I have a bunch of themes that I really want to just finish storyboarding and go all and follow all the way through. But my mind has always been we could do this. We could do this. You remember this interview? We could use that lesson and put it in this one. And so it's just really just saying, hey, you know what? Let's calm down. Let's pick one. Let's do it all the way out, kind of like how we did with the other 2. And then this keep going from there. I just have so many ideas, you know, and I'm really trying to, you know, narrow down to one to where, you know, hey, this is the most.
I think that's one of those things with people, man. We and I'm similar. I've tried to calm down because you can run yourself crazy doing that. It's like, oh man, I got idea. And before you know it, you're doing a million different things and not getting one completed or giving one the proper attention that it needs.
Absolutely.
And I feel like you're not giving that best effort to that one particular project.
Right.
However, you could be a great multitasker, but you would run yourself crazy. And I feel like it's a great thing to have so many different ideas because I mean, for one, you have a lot of material and content to get out there to the masses and to the people. So I think that's very dope. So what is your favorite project that you've written to this date?
Man, I think it's gonna be the one that actually comes out next, man. And that's the one where he's where it's his first time going to the airport, because it'll definitely, try to educate people on how to, maneuver through the airport as well as
that can be a daunting task.
It can be, man. It can definitely be, boy. Especially trying to get there early. But yeah, like I think that one, my next one is gonna be like the one that I'm like, yeah, this is it. Because I'm actually almost done with it. But yeah, I think that's gonna be my favorite one. But so far, out of the two that I have out, I think Purple Mike Isn't Scared is the one that I'm like, yeah, I like this. I really do. I like all my projects, but Purple Mike Isn't Scared is the one I feel like that is the one I like a little bit more. Yo. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, my bad. So I think and when I asked that question, I was saying anything that was. Of course, you don't want to tell too much about something that's not out yet, but at the same time, it's like, if you could kind of say what was your best project to date. So okay, cool. So I want to switch gears for a second.
Okay.
To Texas Greek Picnic.
Yeah, man.
Now, when we have some that we're over, some that we birthed, we call it our babies, so to speak. Now, how did that come about? You birthing Texas Greek Picnic, because we have AGP, it's a lot of different Greek picnics out there. How did this come about? That can be a very, very overwhelming task.
Yeah. Man, so Texas Greek Picnic, oddly enough, I wouldn't say I'm the father. I would just say I am the very, very I'm the very front-facing uncle, right?
Okay.
I was brought into it by my brother Ricky Marshall. It was actually started by Tim, and Tyrone. All these are good bros. And one of the things that I've truly and honestly been very thankful for was the fact that my brother was able to say, yo, you know what? I see what you're doing. Here you can actually use the platform and help, build yourself up and help us out. And it was a good, amazing, honestly, marriage of the things in which I do and things in which he's done. And also because of the fact that, we've had our experiences, promoting, throwing parties, doing putting on amazing events, right? So it's for me, Texas Greek Picnic. I've always loved attending because it gave me a chance to go back home.
Of course you did.
Oh yeah. I wilded out a couple times, but no.
Oh man,
it gave me. I'll never forget. It was a year where I lost my keys and I made the whole picnic stop and everybody looked for my keys and we found it. It was a beautiful thing. Yeah, it was crazy.
Wait. So how many attendees do you all normally have? If you had to estimate, I guess.
Now it's definitely in the thousands. It's like the
wow.
Yeah. And the thing is, man, the pool party. That pool party is the brainchild of my brother Ricky and myself. Like we put that together, and that one has spawned I'm talking about
Don't
it's so big
don't
that
get yourself in trouble.
man, I'm saying I can't. So how I put this? It's so big
Mhm.
that we literally will literally get an artist to perform, but we
Mhm.
don't tell people who the artist is. You just
Wow.
find out when you get there. So your ticket, you're not just paying for a pool party, you're also paying for a concert as well.
Wow. Wow. Okay, and
Yeah,
I like that because you don't know who you're getting,
you
which is a
don't know who
great
you're
thing.
getting, but you do know you're gonna turn up when you see him. And it's been perfect. Like it was amazing last year. We had Erica Banks, Nick Lavelle. We had, now this upcoming year, I can't spoil it, but I'm gonna just say it like this. You seen them on Summer Jam. I'm gonna just say it like that. That's the only thing
Oh
I'm gonna say.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, I may need to make the trip to Texas, but
Man, look, I've been trying to tell folks like, hey, look, you're gonna want to make sure that you are definitely at that pool party and that picnic, my boy. Like, I'm trying to tell you. And then
man,
yeah,
that's dope. That's dope. That's dope. Okay. So with that, let me switch gears one more time, real quick,
mm-hmm.
to being an interviewer or a correspondent. How did that come about for you?
It literally took place during the pandemic. Well, right before the pandemic, I
Okay.
was in my kitchen playing air hockey with my brother Ricky, and we had a friend there, Lex. Shout out to Lex.
Mhm.
And just ask questions. So you know what? I'm gonna start interviewing, and from there, that's literally what I did. And so shout out to DJ, one of my first guest. I started interviewing at my place, and I play air hockey with them, and I ask them questions, and each interview would help out a charity or nonprofit. I have so much content, bro, like that I
Really?
film, but I just need it edited. I need it edited. Like,
Wow.
yeah,
You know what's crazy? And it's funny that you say that. The editing, man, that's a monster right there. So you can have a lot of content, but if you don't get nobody to edit it, it's
man.
crazy. But so do you plan on actually releasing all of the content?
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to make sure like I have a built out team to where hey, not only are we filming it, it's edited and it looks good
Yeah.
because I'm man, I'm an artist, man. I'm sensitive about my stuff, So I'm like I really want to be amazing because I have had some absolutely amazing guests, people that from all walks of life. Man, I've had travel nurses to billionaires to
Dope.
like literally people that can change your life with one
Yeah,
simple
yeah, yeah,
step,
yeah.
to those who are literally trying to build themselves. And I've been absolutely honored to sit with every last person.
Dope. Okay, so as far as how do I want to ask this? Okay. When it pertains to what you do now,
Yeah.
every sector of everything that you're involved in, how did becoming a member of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated, or being a member, not necessarily just becoming, but I'm going to
Right.
include that becoming or being,
Mm-hmm.
how does that help you now with everything that you have going on?
Man, perseverance is literally one of our cardinal principles, and I feel like in every aspect of my life, I've needed perseverance, scholarship as far as like having the knowledge to be able to navigate spaces, knowing when to talk, knowing when to be quiet, knowing when to play the background, knowing when to be in the foreground, um, you know, knowing when to advocate for yourself is something as well, and always literally every single interview that I have, I like to tie it to a charity or nonprofit because service is something that's been near and dear to me, and like I said, it's been reflecting the fraternity. A lot of people that have entered into my life, I've been blessed to have met, not only just from the connections I've made by me personally just being myself, but also the fact that hey, it definitely helps to say, oh, and on top of that, I am a man of Omega Psi Phi. And having that small connection, because after a certain point, we get to a certain stage in life, and that undergrad competition goes, hey, I'm just happy to see that we are all here. You're happy to see anybody that's a member of the D9. Like, it's like, oh
yeah, for sure.
And so those type of linkings, man, have been an absolute blessing, and so that's how it's helped, inside of my life.
Okay. So I have a question for you.
Right.
And just pick one. Just choose one and tell me why. Which do you like better? Step shows or probates?
Ooh, bro. I'm gonna say probates. Probates because of one, you get to with the bros, if you're good enough, you get to see them beforehand, and you can chop it. And shout out to Countryside, because I just came from their chapter. They had an amazing probate, and they had an amazing yard plot. I love their plot. But if you get to prior to seeing, if you get good prior to and you see them, it's an amazing time. And then not only that, but man, like that's literally somebody's like history for them. Like, I've added, my name is officially added to the roster of this chapter, and this is our presentation for it. So I definitely like probate. Step shows are cool though, and shout out to anybody that's won a step show,
Now, the older you get, how hard does it get to hop into step? Does it get more?
Well, let me tell you something. These knees are mine, Lord Jesus. Because I still be in the gym working out, squatting like I ain't got like I'm training for something. No, man. I just
I had to tone it down. I was like, what am I doing? I'm not going. What am I doing? I'm just trying to stay in shape at this point.
Exactly, and that's the thing. Like, I'm still trying to figure out the healthiest balance for me, because man, I have been going crazy in the gym. I don't know why.
Nah, hey, I get it. Sometimes it just get in us, we like, man, let's go hard. Let's go hard today. We going hard. But like I said, man, I do want to be respectful of your time. I know you're on the move today, so I really won't prolong it, because we could probably sit here and talk all day about a whole lot. But
we know us, bro.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Hey, I'm really thinking about trying to make a trip to Texas, man. Look, the food party sounds crazy.
There's a certain level of hospitality that you get for if you come on to TGP Live. So since you have been a guest on TGP Live, there's a certain level of hospitality that you're afforded. So
there we go. Hey, there we go right there. I'm going to take full advantage of that. I'm gonna say, if my schedule permits, I'll be at the pool party. Look,
I would advise it.
Man, that's what's up, man. But before we get up out of here, just let the people know, the audience, where they can find you at. Anything else that you have going on, or anything that you just want the audience to know in general.
Absolutely. So if you are looking for me, I'm at Ezel_Moon_ on Twitter, on Instagram. Dallas, Texas, I will in fact be having a yoga event called Broga. So please make sure you guys are there for that. If you're in the area, let's see. My next book will be dropping this fall. And man, thank y'all. Thank you so much, DC, for having me on here, man. It's an absolute honor and pleasure as always, man.
Nah, man, I appreciate you for taking the time out, man. I definitely appreciate it. We're gonna look forward to that book too. Yeah. And when you start dropping it, we're gonna make sure we repost it on the page and everything for you. We're gonna make sure we give you that, man. So yeah, like I said, I appreciate it, man. Go ahead and enjoy the rest of your day, or go get this money, or whatever you gotta do.
You already know.
And try your best not to tell somebody to join Omega South Africa.
No, come on, man. Why are you like this?
Oh man. But I definitely appreciate it, man. Y'all have been tuned in to another episode of Conversations with DC over on Historically Black Sense, the premier digital platform for all things HBCU and D9 organization affiliated, man. Until the next time, we out.
Peace.